What's going on, brothers? What's going on? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you are, it is your dude, Mr. International Passport, here again for yet another classic. First and foremost, brothers, can you please press a one in the live stream chat if you can hear me loud and clear? How's my audio, brothers? How is my audio, brothers? Is my audio good? Is it clean, crisp, and concise? Let me know right now, brothers. Okay. All right, awesome. Shout out to Braithwaite, Base Pill Clips. Who else is here in the building, man? Who else is here? We're in for a classic, man. In new country, that means new vibes. That means new intel, and that means the whole 9 yard, man. Let's get it cracking, man. Awesome. So I think we're good. Let me just sort out my audio real quick here. Give me 1 second, please. Chotomate kurasai. That means please wait in Japanese. Pardon me. Hold on, brothers. All right, I think we're good. So, brothers, welcome to another classic live stream. It is your dude IP again here for another classic. So, first and foremost, when you come in, please press a one. Please, sorry, when you come in, please like the video. Likes are very important, and please make sure that brothers, please make sure that you support tonight. Hit the super chats, hit the cash app. You gotta support me, man. Please support the channel. Please support what I do. It's not easy streaming literally every other day live in the morning UK time, right? I am sacrificing sleep, my health to get this intel to you, brothers. So please support. All right, support throughout tonight and the future. Join the Patreon. Again, I released the naughty intel in regards to Romanian woman, right? All you need on the Patreon right now is going to shock you. Make sure you definitely cop the merch, please. All right. And make sure you follow my new TikTok account, my new public Facebook group. Be a part of the international passport system. So, John Thomas, please post links to my TikTok account throughout today's stream. That'd be greatly appreciated. And my Patreon too, bro. That'd be greatly appreciated. Let's get it cracking, man. So, in today's live stream, brothers, we have a very special country called Georgia. Okay. I got a very special guest here called Mr. Base Pullo. Base Pullo, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, man. I'm doing fantastic, brother. I'm super excited. This is a new country we're going to touch upon, a country that I've been looking for years for brothers to give me the intel, but you've got the intel, so looking forward to it, brother. So, bro, give us a brief intro about who you are, where you're from, and anything special about you, brother.
Um, yeah, my name, like, basically, I go by the name Based, as you see on here. Originally, I'm from the west coast of Africa, but now I am in the divided states of America right now, temporarily. And basically, something about me, well, I don't like to put too much attention to myself, but I guess you can say that my family background comes from a more like I guess you can say third worldism revolutionary background in the sense that, like, yeah, my uncle met like Thomas Sankara, my uncle met these guys. So I guess that's a little bit, and my dad did as well. So I guess that's a little about me, you know.
Awesome. Thank you, brother. And
Yeah.
just to make sure I let you brothers know, we ain't talking about the state of Georgia. We're talking about the European country of Georgia in Europe. And this just shows how terrible Western culture is. It just shows you how terrible the Western education system is. We're talking about the country called Georgia that's in Europe. This is shocking. Absolutely shocking, man. So let's get it cracking, man. So
Sure.
you were in Georgia recently.
Yeah, I
What
was
city?
there.
Hold on, brother. What city in Georgia were you in?
Yeah, I was in the capital, Tbilisi, Tbilisi. That's how you pronounce it. I was in Tbilisi, Tbilisi. Yeah, that's how you say it, like Tbilisi. I was there, and I was also in what they call, it's like it's technically part of Georgia, but it's like its own thing, but I guess you can say it's still Georgia technically. I was in Abkhazia as well.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
How do we spell Kazia?
Abkhazia. So it's ABKHAZIA.
Awesome, brother. Awesome.
Hmm.
So I'm going to ask you a very important question, brother, in
Hmm.
regards to what is probably the most important question in the history of mankind. Right? It's a
Yeah.
question that can solve world wars. It's a
Hmm.
question that can stop an alien invasion from invading Earth. It's a question that can bring about world peace, brother. Okay?
Hmm.
So this question, brother, right, is a golden question of all questions.
Hmm.
Are the women in the European country of Georgia, right, checking for brothers?
So, do you mind? Do you mind like? Do you mind if I ask you a question that will give you the answer?
Of course.
So, if I told you that one of my Nigerian friends got married to a Georgian woman and he has kids with this woman, would that answer be good enough for you?
Absolutely, brother. Damn.
And would I, if I give you another question, would this question be good enough for you?
Fire
Uh,
away.
so yeah. Also, there is another guy who is black. I believe he is of I think I want to say he's of Suriname background, and he just got engaged to one. So I hope that answers your question.
Wow. Okay, so they are checking. So, but when you were there, right?
Hmm.
What was the vibe towards you as a brother? Because this is a very small European country,
Yeah,
right? Called
exactly,
Georgia.
exactly.
How did a woman treat you? How did they receive you? How did they perceive you, brother? Was there attraction from these women towards you? Were they checking for you, brother? Break it down for us, brother.
So I'll tell you the first thing that happened when I like got off the plane, and I was just like telling you, I just wanted to kind of like chill, you know. When I went to the hostess house, because I don't like staying, I don't like really staying in hotels. I like getting the experience basically, like the local experience. So basically I met up with someone that I happen to know there, and they decided to host me. And so immediately like immediately the next day, you know he said, yeah, my sister was asking about you. And I said, oh yeah. She's like, yeah, she's curious about like who you are, and your African culture, and yeah. And so he's like, yeah, we'll talk about these things over dinner. And I'm like, okay, no problem, you know.
Brother, oh my goodness. This is incredible. Brother, this is a country that has 3 million people, right? And obviously, half of it would be women. So, brother, so these are European white women, right? Or am I wrong here? Are they Asian or are they white?
No, well, I wouldn't call them white because of the simple fact that like they're mixed with like, because of the history of the country, they're mixed with like different elements. You have the Persian element, you have like the Turkic element, and since it was former USSR, it was one of those former satellite states, you have the Russian element as well.
Okay,
S-
incredible. Okay,
Yeah,
gone.
so like not to cut you off, so like they're not going to look like a Karen or your typical like, they're not going to look like your typical Lindsay from the UK or anything like that. They're not going to look like that. No.
Okay, thank you
Yeah.
for breaking that down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, is a typical phenotype, pale skin, jet black hair, black eyes, exotic looking. Is that what you're telling me, brother?
Yeah, so like maybe some of the maybe some of the for example, maybe some of the you may mistake some of them for maybe even Arab, you know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
there is like so many different admixtures there. Maybe you mistake them for someone like I would say like Persian, you know what I mean, because of the admixture that they have there and because of the history of the country, you know. So it's not going to be, your typical like looking like Western European, it's not going to look like that.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you another question, brother, as
Mhm.
to um more about the woman, right?
Mhm.
So I've got a scenario for you. Let's say there's an American brother that wants, you know, a woman that looks Georgian. I'll keep it a stack. They look white, but you're saying they ain't white, but it's whatever, right? But he wants
Yeah.
that kind of look. Hold on. He wants that kind of look in a woman. So we know that the Western white women are no go. They are in no way wifeable in 2023. We're
Mhm.
seeing, Logan Paul's future wife and her history with
Mhm.
men in the West.
Mhm.
That's
Right.
disgusting. We don't
Right.
want that in our lives.
Right.
So these women out there, brother, in Georgia, are these women wifeable, brother?
Bro, I'm I'm gonna I'm, man. And as a Muslim, I would prefer a Muslim woman. That's just what I want. But because it is such a conservative country and such a reserved country that I'm like, dang, man, I may mess around and come here and marry one of these women, man, and just maybe have a second wife somewhere else. I'm just gonna be honest with you, you know. I'm gonna be honest.
Hmm.
I'm just giving you my honest take from what I saw, what I experienced, and the overall culture.
Tell me what makes them wifeable, brother. Tell me 5 things that you saw in Georgian women that makes them wifeable. Break it down for us, bro, please.
Number one, they're not really going to like just be giving it like that. Like, I hate to say it, I really hate to say this, but if you're looking for that kind of time, you're better looking in like Brazil, Colombia, places like that. It's not going to fly in Georgia. Definitely not going to fly, you know. Um they actually are into what I like to call the Renaissance man, like the vintage man, you know, the one who, is able to be a man still. The one who doesn't have to be like put on an image to like wow her or anything like that. The one who, if you're a man and you're a real man, she's going to mess with you. She's going to be loyal. And also, um, they're not really that liberal, man. That's what I like about them. And also, you can't be you can't be like overly aggressive. You know what I mean? It's a very family oriented culture. So you can't be like catcalling and doing things like that. You can't do that. It'll be looked down upon. It'll be frowned upon if you do things like that. You have to like really kind of let things happen organically. And if you let things happen organically, like they're gonna mess with you, and their family is going to mess with you. One thing that I can say I appreciate about it, you know.
Oh,
So this is my experiences from it, you know.
so these women will cook, they'll clean, they'll raise your children. Is that what you're telling me, brother?
They will do all of the above.
Oh my goodness. And brother, would I get submissiveness from a woman? Will she let me lead this Georgian woman in the household?
Now, you get the last say in the household, okay? You get the last say in the household, of course, but she's going to make the home. She's going to raise the kids. She's going to make sure everything is in order while you're doing your thing, okay? As a matter of fact, one guy there told me, yeah, sometimes I go away for like 3 weeks, but when I come back, I know my wife has everything in order for me. And she's very patient that I have to be gone for so long, but she's been loyal. So
Whoa,
you get that kind of dynamic.
whoa. And brother, let me give you a situation here, right? So I got a Georgian girlfriend or a Georgian wife, right? And I come home from work after working my 9 to 5 job. I'm tired, right? And I walk to my Georgian girlfriend, I kiss her, hey, how you doing, baby? Baby, can you uh come with me in the bathroom? Can you run the bath water? Can you bathe me in the bath water? And after you finish bathing me, baby, can you please moisturize me from head to toe? Brother, will my Georgian girlfriend do that?
Well, she's probably going to have to be your wife to get to for you to get that treatment, but I will give a situation that I was in with one of the guys that I knew there. Basically what happened was I was invited over for dinner, like cuz they'll invite you to dinner. That's the thing. That boy oh boy, that is a dinner culture. I will say that. It's like you have to almost tell them to stop feeding you, and even if you tell them to stop feeding you, that's going to be considered rude. So it's just like a very like man, I can't even remember like all the food that I ate and how late I was staying up eating and talking, you know. But when I was invited over for dinner, one of the men, I was like, oh my God. Like, and I just sat on the couch just to relax. Like the host was like, yeah, just sit down, like relax. Sit on the couch and relax. But one of the men there, his wife was giving him a straight up pedicure. I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, what? I said, unbelievable. I said this to myself and I'm playing it casual. And he's like, hey, how are you doing? In the local language, basically. And I just like sitting around saying, cool, uh, um, I'm cool. I'm good, And I said, how are you? And then he's like, yeah, this is my wife, you know. And the wife just is smiling, grinning, giving this man a pedicure in the house. He didn't have to ask.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Bruv, what's going on? What is this? Is this real right now? Am I in a dream? Whoa. Okay. Okay. This is amazing. So, um, bruv. Okay. So where do I go to as a passport bro to find wifeable woman in Georgia? Is it the park? Is it brother the libraries? What places do I go in Tbilisi, Georgia to meet woman brother?
Yeah, I would say, and this happened to me really. I would say that like the gym culture and is pretty big there. And so like, I was there boxing basically. Um, and so I was also doing some strength and conditioning and there was yeah, there was a female in there and then She kind of smiled and I smiled back. And then we talked and stuff like that. And, she said, why don't you come over for dinner? And I said, yeah, I'll come, and then that was that. I met the family and stuff like that. So you can meet them anywhere because it's a family tight knit culture. It's like a tight knit type of culture, basically. It's
Hold
not
on, carry on, carry on.
it's not like, yeah, the West has influence everywhere. Everybody knows that. But when it comes to their traditional and cultural values, they stick very, very tight to those things.
Brother, you tell me it was that easy. So you met a woman at the gym, she smiled at you, you smiled at her, and the next second she invited you for dinner.
Yeah. We were
What?
now she was shy, she was shy, but don't yeah, she was hella shy. And I kind of had to like um kind of I kind of had to, kind of be cool, calm, and collected in the situation and things like that. And then when she found out that I was just like, chill and not really on no like aggressive things, she was like, yeah, you know, why don't you come?
Whoa.
Yeah,
Okay. So religion, right?
yeah,
Is it very strong there? And is it
yeah, strong.
Christianity? Is it Catholic? Is it Muslim? Break it down for us.
So in Tbilisi, it's Orthodox Christian, and they hold
Mm,
on to that very, very tough. Now in Abkhazia, it's part Orthodox, but there is a Muslim minority, which is why I went there. Is because I wanted to tap in with the Muslim minority and stuff like that. And so there is those two religions in the area, Orthodox and a sprinkle of Muslims there.
okay. This is awesome. So feminism isn't flying there at any angle in Georgia.
The only way it's going to fly there is if you have like these goofy outsiders that are coming. Sometimes they come. Like, so you may have your little sprinkles of Ukrainians pushing that crap. You may have like your like just like outside people. But for the most part, like the typical society, this typical fabric of the society is not going to be um no damn nah, it's not really flying like that, very still very conservative country, you know very
Won-
conservative.
Wonderful, wonderful. So when it comes to looks, right,
Hmm.
as to how these women look, brother, are they
Hmm.
dimes, these women, Georgian women, or are they average looking on average?
Well, for me, like, because like me myself, I'm unusual looking, like me myself, I'm like very unusual looking person. So like many people would say that like maybe they're unusual looking, but for me, they're good. They're good looking. And the reason why they're good looking is because yes, they're unusual looking, but also because it's like a very mountain culture, stuff like that, very mountainous culture. That
Wow.
the mountain goes to the right places, basically. The mountain walking goes to the right places to keep it PG.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's
Okay. This
that's
is
just my
go on.
opinion. Yeah, that's just my opinion. Yeah.
Wonderful. So, brother, you know me. I want a virgin woman for marriage. I think most men want that. Again, I'm gonna reference the Logan Paul and Nina Agdal situation and press the one in the chat if you know what I'm referring to. Some
Hmm.
of these brothers, right, they got no idea about the past and history of woman, right? Logan Paul's future wife is a HOE, and he about to wife that up. And he's been embarrassed on social media for wifing up a HOE. God forbid I marry a HOE, and God forbid that you brothers marry a HOE too. We want virgins, man. Virgins first and foremost. Brother, can we find virgin woman to marry in Tbilisi, Georgia?
Yeah, you can find it. Because you know, the thing is, and you know, I was surprised she was throwing these hints out, but one of them, one of the women I encountered, and basically I was just, it was at a museum. I went to a museum, because I'm interested. I had to learn like more about the culture. I wanted to see more about the culture. So I was in the museum and stuff like that. And this woman, the woman who was like hosting the museum, you know, um, I was with one of the comrades there, because my Georgian is still very elementary. And yeah, he told me that, yeah, what she was basically implying to you is that she said it would be it would be like a dream come true to like start a family very soon, you know. And like I was like, "Oh." Yeah, and I just said, "Okay." I said, "Oh, okay." You know, and yeah, and he's like, and he even alluded to the fact that he's like, "Yeah, I think she's looking for a nice dude and things like that." And you know, yeah, perhaps he was kind of like hinting like, yeah, the door is open for you. Basically, he was doing that. But as I said, like my whole travel wasn't just for that. You know what I mean? It was more of a like reconnaissance mission. You know?
Of course, but
Yeah,
would you
yeah.
say the majority of women in Georgia are virgins?
A lot, a very high number, a very high number. I would say a very, very high number. Because the thing is, they come from a culture of shame, and the thing is, like, if word did get out that, oh, such and such daughter was doing this, the whole family would then be like, the whole family would be looked upon like, oh, what are you doing? What aren't you guys doing right? That, and they'll use it against the family too.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So, brother, I'm guessing right. They are so conservative that sex isn't happening before marriage.
Yeah, it's not it will be very, very like difficult. I mean, if it does, it means you guys have been dating for a long time. That's the thing. It means that you're dating for a long time. I gonna be honest, it's very, very, it is, I'm I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it's very, very difficult for it to happen, you know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you
I,
guys are gonna have to be dating for a long time.
I would rather accept that from a woman than her throwing a box around. I'm happy to wait for marriage. F it, man. And that's how it wasn't in many years ago, brothers.
Right.
If we really want this traditional values to come back, brothers, we gotta be traditional ourselves. So if you meet a chick, right, brothers, and she's an Orthodox Christian, and she's telling you it's not happening unless we get married, I would respect that, brothers. I would 100% respect that. In fact, I want more of that for women all around the world nowadays, brothers. Let me put you on mute there. I want a lot of that from women all around the world right now, brothers. Press a one in the chat if you agree with me. Press a two if you disagree with me, brothers. So the scenario is right. You meet a beautiful Georgian woman, and obviously you're very attracted to her. You want to get down with her in the bedroom, but she tells you, "Hey, it's not happening, right? It's only happening when we get married." Do you agree with that, or do you disagree with that, brothers? I'm in agreement, man. I think we gotta start being traditional men and stop thinking about little head and start thinking about big head. No, we can't have it. We can't have it both ways. Either it's just got to be a virgin when she marries, or she's gonna be a 3 or 4. And we don't want to marry a 3 or 4, right? So her being serious about keeping her virginity intact, okay, for marriage, means that she hasn't given it up to any other dude. And that's awesome, man. This is awesome intel so far, bro. So, brother, let's carry on from there, right? Um, so I want to know, brother, more about um, let's say, um, hmm, how you were treated, right, by the people there in general. Did you experience any racism? When you were with the woman there, did the men, show hatred or try and shade you or show some sort of jealousy towards you? Can you break it down for us, bro?
So I would say on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of racism in Georgia, it's like basically at a like a 0.5, you know. It's at like a 0.5 in terms of racism. The only I would say the only element that you need to worry about, which is even a lot of the people don't agree with this element, is that there are like some kind of like these extreme far right people there. But most of them, I guess you can say, were like like getting back from countries like Ukraine or like countries who have that kind of like mentality. But for me, I had no issues. I was talking with like African students, and they say, yo, I'm just living my life. And some of them have been there for like 3 years, so I assume that if there was a racism problem, that they would leave and it was unbearable, then they would leave after like a year or so. But nah, some have been there for like 3 years already.
Okay, okay, awesome, awesome. Now, going on from there, brother, right? Um, did you cold approach women out there? Did women cold approach you? Or is that out of the question, cold approaching?
S- um I didn't really cold approach, but I guess what happened, like one of the situations, um, and I was just kind of like surprised at the situation. But they have this like they have this this dance that they do, and I guess sometimes they do it after like dinner. Basically, sometimes they'll get with their friend and do it during after dinner. It's called like it starts with a L. Um, it I forgot the name of it, but it starts with a L.
Mhm.
It's called like Linzinka or something like that. It's something like that. It's a dance. Well, I forgot the name. I'll have to research it basically. Um, but my friend like, and I'm not a dancer. I'm by no means a dancer. But my friend, he like invited me to dance, so I started dancing basically. And he would like, there was this one woman, she was like, after I was done dancing, she would look, then look away, look and then look away, look and then look away, look and then look away. You know how you feel someone staring at you or looking at you?
Mhm.
You know how
Yep.
you can like sense like someone looking at you? Like you
Yes.
you you may not be looking at them, but you sense it, and then you look, and then they look away.
Yep.
So that happened a lot there. And then when it turns out, like, her friend said, her friend came to me and said, me and my friends are gonna go out. Like, would you like to come with us? And we'll show you around. And then what happened was, it got it was a trap, because the trap was they were trying to like get me in with that woman that was looking away. Because the first question, the one of the first questions after they were done showing me around was, so what do you think of my friend? You know, I know she's quiet and stuff like that, but what do you think of her? And I said, yeah, you know, she's cool, you know, she's cool and stuff like that. And yeah, that's how it usually happens most of the time.
Brother, that sounds like a a, a true like romance story, brother. This is incredible. I might have to make that trip to Georgia, bro. No cap. Oh my goodness. Whew. So that's how they give choosing signals. Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting,
like
brother.
I mean, because you have to understand something, you know, like they don't want to come off too strong. You know what I mean? Like, because if they come off too strong, then it's like you understand? Like it's
Mhm.
like, okay, then what's the role of the man, you know, if they come off too strong, you know? But they'll
Damn.
do it in subtle ways where you're like, okay, I get it now,
Damn.
you know?
So what about online dating, brother? The Tinder, the Hinge, the Bumble. Did you try it out there, brother, in Georgia?
Nah, nah, you know, bro, I don't use online dating apps, bro. Like I really don't use them, you know. Even if I'm like fairly I'm in a quote unquote Tinder age right now, I don't use dating apps, you know. I just really don't, you know. I really don't. I really don't use them, bro. I prefer just organic meeting style, you know. Afterward, if you want to exchange social media after, then yeah, no problem, you know.
And that goes on to my next question, brother. So, is social media a thing out there, and is it a problem amongst the women? The Instagrams, the TikToks, all that demonic nonsense.
So the thing is, most of there is a element of like them doing TikTok and stuff like that, but they're not going to do anything like outrageous and like too outlandish, you know what I mean? Like the only ones who are going to do that one are the liberalized ones, which are like really not many. You know what I mean? And if they are doing something on the social media, it's to show their culture. It's not to show them like acting foolish or something like that, or show
Mm.
them using a Barbie filter or some kind of crazy madness like that. You know?
Hmm. Amazing. Amazing. I got a super chat here. Shout out to Mr. John Thomas for the $4.99 super chat. Salute. Thank you, bro, my superstar mod. We got over 80 people, brothers. You gotta support me, man. I've touched upon over 50 countries for you brothers to find your future girlfriends, your future wives. You got the Patreon for even more intel about travels. You gotta support me, brothers. Please support what I do, man. Hit the super chats, hit the PayPal. It'll be greatly appreciated. Salute to all you brothers, man. On Georgia, they had a battle with Russia in the past. Did you hear any tension between Georgians and Russians from the past conflicts? Answer that, please, brother.
Um. So Georgia used to be a former Soviet satellite state, and they broke off, I think, in 1991. Um. They have, like, I guess you can say, regained their culture, and it's not Russified, but there are a lot of. That's why I was able to be in a kind of good situation there. It's because there are many Georgians who speak Russian, so that's what kind of got me in a good space. But I tended to stay away from the political talk, like, because if I told them about my past or my family's past with the USSR, that would have probably brought some like ill feelings, basically. So I just left politics out of it. But there are some who understand the war in Ukraine, why it's going on, and stuff like that.
Mm.
And then there are those who, you know, of course, are, you know, feeling the way that Americans feel about Ukraine. But
Awesome, brother.
I'll leave it at that.
All right, awesome. So, next question for you, brother, is in terms of communication. Um, how do you and get closer to him? We can't hear you. Get closer to him, mic, please. When it comes to communicating with Georgian women, what language do you speak? Is it English? Is it Russian? What's the best language to communicate with them, brother?
So I was trying my best to learn Georgian. Like I was trying to my best to and it's my mistake that I didn't study more Georgian on the fly before I went to the country. But mostly I was speaking in Russian with them, but I was also doing my best to soak up the Georgian as well.
So English isn't flying over there, bro.
Uh certain like I guess you can say certain pockets, yeah. Certain pockets it is, but you are gonna have to learn the language though.
Okay. Yep, I think that's a good point there. Learn the language of the country you're interested in, brothers. That's how you get the best woman. Um, Interesting. Okay, brother. So I want to know more about Georgian women and their mentality. Are these women materialistic, or are they humble, brother? So break it down for us, bro.
Um Materialistic, yes, but not in the sense of I need a Birkin bag. Not in that sense.
Mm,
But in the sense it's like, okay, you bring a little gift over or something like that, very appreciated. Goes a long way. Even if it's a small gift.
mm.
It's not going to be turned away. Like, for example, maybe in this society that we live in, that you buy maybe a woman some flowers, I don't know, and she says, that's it, or, I don't want these, or something like that. The little gifts are very appreciated, you know,
Awesome.
because they will give more in return. That's why.
So, brother, tell me five things you loved about Georgian women while you were there in Georgia.
Uh, Number one, the food. They know how to make some good food. And I, my boxing coach is like, man, you're fat now. Well, I'm not really fat, but you will eat good over there. Um, Number two, I can appreciate soft voices. They don't sound like I can appreciate I can appreciate that they're pretty chill. I like I like how chill they be. Like they're not like really out there, so to say. I like that about them. That was a good thing that I like. Number four, um, I can say that uh I like how they keep up with themselves without having to wear so much makeup. Like it's just like they have a whole routine that they look after themselves, and you, they don't really need to do the little bait and switch with like makeup because they're like taking care of themselves. That's what I like. And then I guess I can say how they take care of their men. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. I like that too, you know.
Tell me
Yeah.
five things. Oh, carry on.
And I like how conservative they dress too. I like that. I like how they dress conservative. They wore like, dresses and stuff like that and you know, dress pretty dress pretty modest. That's one thing that I can say I like.
Wow. Tell me five things you didn't like about Georgian women.
Um Smoking culture is big over there, so like, you do get your hookah and stuff like that. So I was just like, you know, like I'm not really feeling that. I'm not really feeling that at all. Um I'm dealing with the thing I don't like right now. Um, the I got one's contact. I got one Georgian woman's contact, and she's just asking me every single day, when are you coming back? When are you coming back? FaceTiming me at in while I'm sleeping, like it while I'm trying to get some rest, like FaceTiming me. I'm like, okay, we can talk later. You know what I mean? Like, just very, very, you know, always wondering, like, what am I doing? Stuff like that. I don't like that. You know, like, let me live my life. You know what I mean?
Mm,
I kind of like you understand, right?
understand? Yes.
I don't really like that. And and then what number was that? Like number 2 or
Number two.
yeah, number 2. Uh I mean, bro, I would be really hard pressed to find something else though. That's the thing.
Damn.
Like yeah, brother, you're kind of like, I'm not saying you're at fault, but it's very difficult to, like, you know what I mean?
I feel
It's
you,
like,
bro.
yeah, so yeah, maybe yeah, maybe another time I can think and decide, but right now it's kind of difficult because there wasn't really uh, much I didn't like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, now I want to know how strong-willed are they mentally, brother? So, if you were to take a Georgian girlfriend that you found in Georgia and move her to America, will she still keep to her Georgian ways and culture, or would the American culture, the brainwashing, the poisoning, eventually take over her mind state and she become a feminist? Blah blah blah, brother. Or will she keep to her culture?
Um yeah, I to be honest, bro, I'm just going to be real with you. The machine is so strong in the West that I'm not bringing none of them back, no matter how traditional they are. It's just the machine is too strong. I don't want to segue off topic, but you have women breaking up with their men if they don't go watch Barbie. You have women breaking up with their men after they go watch Barbie. So the culture is just the social engineering is too strong. So I wouldn't even bring a Georgian woman to the West. I wouldn't do that.
If you did though,
Yeah.
do you think she would reject Western culture and keep to her culture, or would
I'm
the machine eventually take over her mind?
I mean, I think the machine would eventually wear her down. You know, it's just I've seen it firsthand. I've seen it firsthand. Like, for example, like, and even when you look at even when Armenia is in that same place. It's in the same region, and I've known like Armenians who get the women from Armenia. They bring them back, and then it's all she wrote. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. The machine is just too much. I hate to say it. I don't want to sound like I'm waving the white flag, but it's just the reality. That's
Wow.
just the reality.
If the machine is that powerful, maybe it's time for us to rage against the machine.
I mean, it's very hard to do it. It's very difficult because it's very difficult to do it.
Okay.
It's hard, man. It's very hard.
I feel you, bro. I feel
Yeah,
you.
it's very
And
hard.
shout out to Rage Against the Machine. They had some good classics back in the day.
They did.
All right. So, this is awesome. So, let me ask this, brother. Right.
Yeah.
Um, when brothers are out there, right?
Hmm.
What shall we wear, right? In terms of to get the right woman, right? I'm guessing that there's a very low amount of three or fours there. Can we
Yeah.
confirm that? Okay,
Yes.
that's
That,
awesome.
that's confirmed. That's confirmed. Yes.
Okay, which is
Hmm.
awesome. How would you spot a three or four in Georgia?
Um, I would say like if they have hella tattoos, that's kind of like uh-oh. You know what I mean? If they're having like so many tattoos, um also if they're you know they're always they're always on the scene, so to say, like they're always in like into the nightlife, like the discotheque and things like that, you know what I mean?
Mm,
And also if you see them just usually like with a group of different like a group of like different men that may not be from their country because the other men have said, man, peace out to you, you're damaged, like as Arnold Schwarzenegger said in True Lies, you're damaged goods, lady.
okay,
Yeah.
awesome. So let me ask this, brother. Um, you said that there's a huge smoking culture out there. Does the average Georgian woman smoke?
Yeah, they smoke. They usually like smoke hookah or something like that. You know what I mean? Like they smoke hookah and that kind of thing. Now, one thing that I didn't mind though, and I'm not gonna lie, I partook in it, um, is that like in I'm not like by any means like to like attracted to this, but but this one this one female this one female, she did take me to a cigar lounge and we were smoking cigars, and I was cool with that, I was cool because it's like I'm not doing it every day, you know what I mean? So
Mm,
I was all right with doing that, I'm it's not like we're gonna do it every day, but she was like I just said, I just offered that suggestion because like I guess she wanted to smoke. So I just said we can go to a cigar lounge and smoke and chill, you know?
so let me ask this, brother. Right. So you're telling me,
Yeah.
right? The average Georgian woman smokes cigars,
Uh,
cigarettes.
uh, like they're mostly into cigarettes, but this one was good because she when I mentioned cigars, because I told her that I was in Cuba and that I had cohibas, and her eyes lit up, and so that's why I said when her eyes lit up, I kind of just read that as like, okay, maybe we can go smoke some cigars.
Ooh, I'll keep it. That could be, brother. I
Yeah.
can't do a chick that smokes, man. I can't do it,
Yeah,
bruv.
yeah, that's what I'm
And
saying. That's the downside. That's what I'm telling you. I'm just keeping it a buck with you.
you
You know
you
what I mean?
tell me, brother, the average Georgian
They,
woman smokes. I can't
yeah,
do that, brother.
yeah,
Keep it
they
stack.
smoke. They smoke, bro. Like I mean, like I'm not gonna say all of them smoke, but I'm just gonna say in the culture, like smoking is something, like hookahs and all of that. But I'm
Okay,
not saying all of them do it. I'm not gonna say like 90%, or I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say like even 50% do it. But I'm just saying that if you see it, it's going to be like it's you're going to see it. That's what I'm saying.
okay. Thank you,
Yeah,
brother.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So, how should brothers dress out there in Georgia? Right? Is it very casual, or do we wear suits? Just tell us, how do we dress out there to attract the right respectable woman and have respect?
So, um, you know, for me, like I've told you in like previous shows that um for me, I try to take the in between approach. So me, I will wear, like for example, I'll wear a polo shirt, and I'll wear a cap, and either I'm wearing like some shorts, or I'm wearing like even sometimes maybe a football jersey with like some sweatpants or something like that. But as long as it's put together, then you'll be okay. Like you don't have to, like for example, it's a very like mountainous, kind of like hilly areas. So you're not going to be expect yeah, you're not going to be expected to wear like loafers or anything like that. You have to be comfortable. You know what I mean? So you can dress like, for example, like just casual, but not sloppy casual. Not like your like oversized t-shirts or like stuff like that.
Awesome, awesome,
Yeah.
amazing, amazing live stream so far. So let's open up the phone lines, brother, and let's get some questions from the guests to ask you in regards to Georgian women and Georgia culture. So while I open up the phone lines, brothers, once again, the Python classes open in the first week of September. Be in the lookout for that. Make sure you go to Theo's Manosphere Conclave. Please do so to meet other high value, intelligent brothers. Um, Make sure you also join the Patreon and become a lifetime member. Support me and what I do, and of course, cut the merch. Hit the PayPal donations, hit the super chats. Any donations would be greatly appreciated. So if you can't call in, please hit your question in a super chat or PayPal donation, or call in, right, to ask a question to our guests. So when I open up and of course, brothers, please make sure you speak in code, no explicit talk, no swear word, no N word use, nothing outrageous. Keep it very PG with your questions. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you for reminding me, Mr. Dark Ninja. Speak in code, brothers, right? Speak in encryption. you know, keep it encrypted like the Matrix code. If y'all know what I'm referring to, the green code. Okie dokie. So I got a question for you, Base Pullo. What's the cost of living out there like in Georgia? Um, is it very cheap or is it expensive?
Yeah, it's dirt cheap. Um I decided I'm like, you know what, why not? I decided that, since I was going to be there for a like 3 weeks or so, that it would just be cool, like I can just like get my own little spot. And basically you can get a 2 bedroom, even a 3 bedroom for like 700 USD. It's not expensive at all. It's not
Okay.
expensive. It's not expensive. And they're very spacious wherever you decide. It's very spacious. It's dirt. I won't say, yeah, it's cheap. That's all I'm gonna say. Is the cost of living is, compared to what is paid in the West, the cost of living there, it's it's nothing, basically.
Was that a Airbnb? I'm assuming.
No, 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 no. That it was just an apartment.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
was it a hotel apartment?
No, it wasn't even a hotel apartment. I linked up with someone who like basically owned the building. And
Fantastic.
I said, yeah, I'll just be here for this amount of time. And so they said, no problem.
Awesome. Awesome. Um, what about food, transportation? It was that cheap as well?
Everything is cheap there. Everything is cheap.
Awesome.
Everything is cheap.
So, what about the nightlife, brother? How was that? Was that vibrant? Was that interesting? Or is that mostly where three or fours congregate? Break it down for us, bro, if you went out.
Um, if I went out, it was just usually walking around with a group of people, just chilling, maybe going to a cafe or something like that. Uh, there are night spots that you can congregate to. I was even surprised to see, and this really blew my mind. And I was like, "Oh crap! Let me go here. Let me link with my people." But there was actually an African night spot over there. There was an African night spot over there, which surprised me very, very much.
And were they with Georgian women?
There were mostly Africans there. It was just like a spot for us, really. But Georgian women, of course, were there. They were there, of course. You know,
Amazing.
yeah. Hmm. I guess what happened is one of them wanted to just have a place for like students and stuff like that to link up. And then yeah, obviously the locals are going to be curious too.
Incredible. Um, so how did you move around in terms of public transportation? Did you use Uber? How is the public transportation like? Did you use bus, train? How did you move around, bro?
Yeah, usually I just would hop on the bus or hop on the train, or even if I was feeling like I know this sounds pretty crazy, but it's actually fun and it's fun and it's cheap, but you can actually use a motor taxi too. That's actually that's the quickest way to get where you need to get to.
Okay, interesting. So is Uber out there at all?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, and is Uber and the transportation cheap?
Yeah, every as I said, the cost of living and the overall expenses there is very it's not it's one of the least expensive places that I've actually been.
Awesome, man. Shout out to Mr. C by Fumble for the $199 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Yes, sir, I am late. No worries, brother. Welcome, welcome. Been a great live stream so far. Awesome, brother. Thank you very much for answering my questions so far. So, brothers, call in if you have any questions for our guests. Call in. Um, so, while I wait for a caller, tell me more about the food. Is the food tasty? Is it
Yeah,
nutritious? Mhm.
the food is good. Um I mean the food just uses I mean maybe some people won't like the food, but I can say that I like the food because it was based upon like a lot of meats and it was based upon a lot of a lot of sauces and stuff like that. Like there's this one dish that was like a chicken dish and it had like I want to say this very good um it was like a coconut base. It had like a coconut base inside of it and it was very good. You know, I liked it a lot. And they have these things that are similar to pizza, but it's not really pizza. It's like something different. It's like it's like bread with cheese, but it's stuffed with just like different types of things. It's like a pocket basically. It's called like it. The name is kind of hard to pronounce, but it's what they call like a canoe. You know.
Awesome, awesome, man. Incredible, incredible. All right, y'all better call in the next 5 minutes. I'm gonna end the stream early. I've got all my questions that I need, and I'm all about quality, not quantity. So, incredible breakdown so far on Georgia, man. Um, if you can't call in, brothers, hit your questions in the super chat or PayPal. Let me check the PayPal just so I haven't missed any donations or questions. So let me ask this, brother. So obviously you're in IT, which is great, brother, right? So
Yeah.
from a passport bro's experience, how's the internet connection out there?
Yeah. It's. I mean, the internet is pretty decent. I mean, of course, there's some things to be desired, but it's not bad. I was able to get work done. I was able to still do my little hobby of doing edits and things like that. So the internet is not necessarily bad. I mean, the internet that I had in my building, it allowed me to get everything that I needed done.
Okay, so from a passport bro perspective in working IT there, brother, uh, how is it like in terms of the weather? You know, working there. Obviously, we want to be in an environment where it's sunny, it's a cool breeze. How is the weather like there, brother?
So it does have those seasons, especially they do have winter, you know. I'm not going to sit here and cap, but I mean, the way I look at it, and this is just me personally, because I look at myself as like a nomad more than anything, with his base that's going to be in his home country, and then his base going to be in one of these places. But even if the weather is like unbearable, you're still in proximity of different places where maybe you can get like a more likable climate if you're if you're just completely allergic to the cold, you know.
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome, brother. So, working IT days, it will be a good experience for brothers, and it has everything you need in terms of food, transportation, good internet, having a great time, meeting new people, meeting women. It's a great spot for possible bros who work in IT.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like I said, I'm making this disclaimer. I'm just gonna make this disclaimer. Like me, more than anything else, I consider myself like, I guess you can say, like more of the nomadic type. That my first thing about travel is the intel and just the logistics and just like reconnaissance about the place I'm going to.
Mm,
Like I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. I don't go to a place based off of like their women.
mm.
I go to a place based off of, is it gonna provide what I need for what it is that I need to like do, so I can set up my family, so I can be closer to my family back home and stuff like that. Like my whole purpose is basically more strategic than anything else. But the other
Awesome.
things come as a residual, I guess you can say, you know.
Awesome, awesome. Alrighty, so I'm gonna give it 3 more minutes, and if no one calls in, I'm going to end the stream early. Okay, I'm gonna give you 3 minutes for you to both either call in or hit your questions in the super chat or PayPal donation. If y'all don't do that in 3 minutes, I'm gonna end the stream early. We're gonna have a great Sunday ahead, and look forward to the upcoming week for more classics, man. So amazing, amazing. Breakdown so far in regards to Georgia and Georgian women. Is there anything else important that you need to touch upon? How about safety? Is it safe for brothers to travel there? Or should we go alone? Should we go in a group? And is it safe in terms of safety?
Yeah, me personally, I like going places alone. Like I've always been the type of dude that like since I guess since being in the West, I had to get comfortable being by myself, because I found out like so many people who I thought were in my corner were actually against me. So I travel alone all the time. Like in fact, I prefer to travel alone. Like me personally, on a personal law, I just believe that maybe you want, if at most, maybe you bring one other person with you. But if you're doing a big travel group and things like that, for me personally, it brings like attention. So maybe bring one extra person, maybe.
Okay, but in terms of safety, no problems at all.
Yeah, the country is very safe. The country is actually safer than America, because I'll try to keep this PG, but in especially in California right now, the likelihood of uh like a smash and grab happening at a store is way more higher. Like I would say like a cool 110% higher than it would happen like in Georgia.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, bro. Shout out to Mr. C by Fumble for the $199 super chat. How do the women look? White, Turkish, or Asian?
I would say a mixture of Persian, Turkish, and also because it was a former Soviet satellite state, you have the Eurasian Slavic admixture as well. So all
Awesome,
those three things put together.
awesome, awesome. Alrighty, alrighty. So, brother, I think we have reached the end of this incredible live stream, bro. It's been a pleasure for you breaking down the woman in Uh, Georgia, do you have any closing statements before I say mine? And we'll have a great weekend.
Um, just thank you for hosting this platform. I appreciate it. If I wasn't more energetic, it's because I have I had a lot of work to do, and I still have a lot of work to do, and that's my apologies. If I'm not as energetic as I should be, that's I apologize for that.
No problem, bro. No problem. Okay, awesome. So, brothers, this has been a great live stream. I want to say thank you to our guest, Mr. Bass Polo, for coming on here and breaking down the woman in Georgia. Brothers, as keep staying focused. Get your passport. Book your IT consultations with me. Follow me on my new TikTok account. If you're on TikTok, you need to follow me on TikTok. I'll be posting more on there. Please support. Please support. Hit the PayPal when I finish going live. The PayPal is open 24/7. And yes, and make sure you join the Patreon and you cop the merch too. Always support. Always support. This has been a great live stream, man. Um, Another country for you brothers to explore and check out. Another country for you brothers to explore and check out. So once again, the Python classes will open up in the first week of September, and of course, make sure you book your tickets for Theo's conference. Man, it's going to change your lives. It will change your lives, man. We're doing our best for you brothers. We're putting in work for you brothers, trying to help you, guide you to give you solutions. I'm the only channel giving you brothers solutions, right? So make use of the time that I spend to help you brothers out and to live a better life and find the woman of your dreams. I'm International Passport, and I'll see you brothers on the next video. Peace out, brothers. Thank you.